Good afternoon, good evening, good Zinta, good y'all, whatever it may be where you are. I'm not sports cards. Hope you're doing well. We're by the time this airs, Andor will have already premiered, but I figured in honor, it's about 3 hours before it premieres, in honor of the return of one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Star Wars character, Cassian Andor. I'm going to go through and show some of my Rogue One Andor collection. I'm really going to focus on on Rogue One, even though it's in the future, the origin of Andor season 1 and season 2. I've been an Andor Rogue One collector for a few years, like 2.5, 3 years. And at first, it was easy going, and then it got really hard. Shout out to my buddy Peter, who a handful of these cards came from him, including these two beauties in the back here. Those are jumbos. I don't even know what they came from. These are larger than, obviously they're big, like bigger than index cards. They're numbered to 50. We'll get to a reason why I have those in a little bit. I'm trying to figure out where to start. All right. Let's see. I'll give a very brief idea of kind of what there are three main Rogue One sets. This one here is the UK European set. This is like the K2SO rookie doesn't how you look at it. Then you have Mission Briefing, which it's called Rogue One Mission Briefing. But there are only, I think, 12 Rogue One cards. There's a Cassian, a Jyn, a Krennic, a Baze, a Chirrut, and then there are like some action cards. This is a gold one out of 50 I recently got. One thing, okay, it's basically the same for serial numbered. In Mission Briefing, the 1 of 1 is like orange. The gold out of 50 is also looks gold orange, but it's gold, and the gray is out of 100. So there are really only 151 of every card that is serial numbered. And this is the original base set. You know what? I'm going to need another card because there are two series of the base. This is series 1. Somewhere around here, there's probably, okay, this card's from series 2. They look pretty much the same. The only thing that you'll see here is that the font is bigger and bolder on the bottom here. So, all right, let's get to. Do you want to do ungraded? We'll do ungraded first. I don't know. This is very hard for me to kind of even talk through because I realize that there are more cards than I even. Yeah, I'll throw out a couple more just to show you something. I'm not an autograph collector. As far as I know, this is the second best Rogue One collection there is, minus sketches and autos. I don't collect sketches and autos. I did pick up a few autos from, these are archives. So this is 2018. So they took kind of the Rogue One cards, they serial numbered them, and then they're on-card autos. This is a Bodhi Rook out of 99. Here's a Mon Mothma, same thing out of 99. Got a few of those. I do have some autos. That'll show them all off. Here's one of the better ones. This is Forrest Whitaker, saw Gerrera. This is the Death Star Black out of 50. Pretty sure there are only 101s and out of 50s on the autos. So lots of stuff. That's some autos. So I have had a pile of cards that I want to grade for a while, but in truth, the conundrum of why am I grading? I'm not going to get into that, but basically, I'm only really grading to keep these preserved, and just haven't felt like spending the money just to put them in glorified one touches. But we'll go through some of what I had intended on grading. I don't really like. There's a lot of glare going on here. All right, I don't need the whole pile at one time, do I? All right, so this is The Fight Isn't Over. Gray's out of 100. So, again, most of these cards you cannot buy. What I mean by that is, if you dial up your eBay, ComC, whatever, these cards aren't for sale. Some of them are. It's easier to find Season 2 than it is to find Season 1. Obviously, it's easier to find gray out of 100 than gold out of 50. But we'll rip through these. Okay, one of my favorite images of all. This is infiltrating the Citadel, K2SO, Jyn, and Cassian together. Another cool Cassian card. Cassian makes contact. Another awesome card. Gold Cassian under Imperial rule. Ooh, cheer it. Finding Rogue One gold character cards is somewhat impossible. This is the only chart I ever saw for sale. I bought it instantly. Okay, so there are two, this is series 1. There are two kind of, like, Jyn has her normal card, and this is the secondary card, which is the Jyn Rebel Hero out of 100. I bought this off of ComC. Okay, so this is a card I've only ever seen one. This is the Mission Briefing Cassian Andor Gray out of 100. I picked this up earlier this year. Yeah, this one I really do need to get graded. I don't know if, I think the pop might be a Pop Zero. If you own any of these like character cards and you want to sell them, please contact me. Here's Bodhi Rook. Oh, he may be in Andor. I have PSA 10 of this, which is a Pop 1. And then I have this one. So that'll get graded. It was eventually get graded. The main characters I'd like to get graded. The scene cards I don't know if I really need to get graded. This is the Krennic Mission Briefing out of 100. Another one I think is like a Pop Zero. So when it comes to base cards, this is one of the, you'll see almost no unnumbered cards in here. But in Series 1, this is the true Cassian rookie. There are 4 kind of base parallels. There's the base, there's the Death Star Black, green and blue. And blue is the hardest. I think you get about 1 per case of standard retail box. I think you get 1 per 6 packs or something like that. So they're not easy to get. So there are 9 of these graded. So 7 of these graded, and there's 110. Bodhi Rook Gray. I have to admit I haven't gone through these in a while and didn't even know I had a Bodhi Rook Gray or when I even bought this. My goal is to have all of the character cards in gray and gold. I am missing a couple, which will become apparent later. All right, so these are all just going to be Cassian scene cards. I think I bought this recently in a PSA slab. I got mad and just bought the auction because I thought people were disrespecting the card. All right, trust goes both ways. So you can see back there that this gold card is that card back there, and we'll whip in another one here. So if you see my collection before, I have a couple 101s. So you do not see 101s, certainly with any of the main characters. There's K2SO back there, that's Jyn there, and that's Cassian Andor. So I have the true rainbow of this card, including that gold up there. I own 2 101s, and that's my favorite. So who knows? I really truly don't care about grading cards anymore. All right, did we do this one? Is this another fight isn't over? A lot of these I'll just buy again. Jyn, an offer to Jyn. Here's another blue Cassian. These are not the ones I guess. You can see I have multiple golds of certain ones. Here's a Cassian Returns. Here's Cassian Listens In, one of my favorites. I showed earlier, this might be my favorite image from either set. The end of Rogue One, the Vader. And I couldn't get any of these for years. And I ended up buying a set of Series 2 Gray, all numbered to 100, a while ago, graded one. Got the PSA 10. Then one came up for sale on eBay, so I bought it. Here's another Series 1. I think this is Briefing for Mission Ahead. I don't know if I have a graded one of those. We'll see. Again, almost none of these cards are for sale on the internet. Jyn presents her case. It's her and Bodhi. Here's Jyn Reunion. Have to admit, I have no interest in grading most of these Jyn cards. Jyn's Departure. Transferring the Plans. Here's an offer to Jyn in gold. Here's another Cassian Makes Contact. By the way, I even have more of these. I have a binder over there, which I may go through, may not. We'll see how much time this goes on. One of my favorite cards. you know, that top rank of that Vader card, the Jyn, Cassian, and K2SO. So this is from series 1. It's called a Rebellion United. It's the only card with kind of everybody in it other than K2SO. I mean, you have Bodhi, Chirrut, Jyn, Cassian, and Baze. So it's a pretty awesome card. One just sold for like $100, or I think one sold raw for $100 recently. Might have the gold of that card. We'll see. All right. So this is I think the last card from Series 2, the Destruction of Scarif, Jyn, and Cassian together. Cool card. You know, a lot of these came out of that set that I bought, the whole Series 2 gray set, Arrival on Jeddah. You know, again, some of these I don't even remember whether I have them or not. This is the briefing for Mission Ahead in gray. Here's another Jyn Reunion card. I've just been buying these over the years, but basically for a long time just kind of buying everything. Here's another one that I think is wildly slept on. There's a Jyn Erso rookie, who I may have a role in Andor Season 2. This is gold out of 50. I have one of these graded, but I bought a second one. I think there are only 2 graded, 1 gold and 1 gray. I think I have them both, but we'll see. Let's whip through the graded cards for now. This is in no particular order. Here's that Vader. It's PSA 10 Pop 1. Briefing for a Mission Ahead. For a Mission Ahead. I swear, I think this is a Pop 2 or 3. I think I had the 8.5 and sold it. I bought this not that long ago on ComC for like $40, which was a ridiculous price. Another one of my top favorite images, Jyn Undercover. This is like the poster art and everything. That's PSA 10. I think there are like 2 of those. Oh, here we go. Rebellion United. Gold PSA 10. Again, one of the top cards. Top scene cards in either series. I think it's a Pop 2. My buddy Sean has the other one. Oh, we're just talking about Jyn Erso. I picked this up from a buddy not that long ago. I think I got a really good price on this. It's Pop 1 PSA 10 of the gray. I don't even know what I paid. Oh, and here's a Pop 1 of the gold PSA 10. So, again, when it comes to grading, it's a narrow thing between, like, I'm sure there are probably better ungraded Star Wars, like Rogue One collections, or maybe, who knows. But graded, this is neck and neck with my buddy Peters. He has some of the biggest cards and the best grades, which would probably overtake it, but I definitely have more graded. This actually came from his collection. He sold this on eBay. So Vader has a card. This is Vader's very first serial numbered card in a movie. I know that's like a mouthful, but like for the first, Vader wasn't in a lot of the movies, certainly the modern ones. And this is the one where he had serial numbered cards. So to find one out of 100, this is the only one I've ever seen for sale. So I bought this in a 9. Almost all my grays are 9s. The only, like, that you saw that Jyn Erso, that I didn't grade that. All right, grab the rest of this pile. You know what? We'll leave that for a little bit. I'm trying to think here because I have like a pile of, or like the grays. Here we go. I don't know. We'll just here's some more of those grays. These are some of the character cards. So Baze Malbus. Again, there's actually one of these for sale, for a raw one for $50. So I think that's crazy. I just haven't bought it because I own a lot, and here's a Death Trooper. This I bought for like, I think I traded for this for like next to nothing, like less than it cost to grade the card. So Chirrut gray. Again, just really impossible to find. Now, this is a card, Saw. I do not have this in gold. I have this in gray. I've only ever seen 2 of them. I bought both of them, graded them. My buddy Peter, that's how I met him. He bought the 8 off of me of the Saw. But yeah, if you have a Saw gold, that is one of the 2 gold cards that I need. Have been looking for years. Never ever seen one for sale. Yeah. Again, it took me years to put this together. And I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure the people who were collecting when this stuff came out probably have some pretty good collections. Let me see this pile here. All right. Let's see what's over here. All right, how about some Jyns? Just to, like, so I mentioned the non-numbered parallels. So this is a Jyn 10 blue, the hardest one. Then there's the base, there's the black, here's the green, all in 10s. So whatever. I'm not really a Jyn collector, but I've picked those up over the years. And now we'll do some Cassians, I guess. Here's some Cassian base. I don't even know where they all are. I don't have all the 10s in base. I've not really chased them that much. But here is the actual base 10. Here's the green and a 9. Here's blue. So there are 7 blue of these graded, right? There are only so here. Let's see. Here's the black. I only have black in 9. I think there are 2 10s. Just haven't tried. I'm sure I have a ton of these in raw, and who knows. I'm not gonna. I just don't chase grades that much. I wanted to have them all to complete it, but the blues are the hardest ones to get, and somewhere along the way, I just decided, screw it. So, like I said, there are only 7 of these graded. 110, I think. I don't know. You're about to see. You're about to see 5 of them. There's 7 graded. I only graded, I think, 1 of these. I bought the rest. So this is the only one I graded. I got a 7. Maybe I graded another one. I got an 8. I got an 8. I got a 9. I got the other 9. And then I have the only 10 in the world. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's one other 9, one other 8. But I think I bought the last 9 because I was like, all right, I want to own all. There's one for sale on eBay. I think the guy wants like 4. It's a crazy price. So it's 400, 800. I don't even know. He says that there are none higher, but I have one higher, and it also says Pop 1 for a PSA 9, and we just saw 2 of them here. All right, what else we got here? I'll show you another 101. Here's my other 101. This is Jyn and Cassian Climb. I love this card. The visual isn't as perfect as the motif, which, again, you can see that's this card over here. The word climb is motif throughout Andor and Rogue One. And it's just kind of the idea of the revolution is to climb out from under. The rebellion is to climb out from under. Love this. I bought this a year ago. Again, both the 101s. I have never seen... Oops, man down. Sorry, folks. I'm not going to start over just because I just gave you... motion sickness. Sorry, it's just the way it's going to be. Yeah, I've never seen any other Cassian 101 from Rogue One for sale. So those are the super rainbows, as you would see. Yeah, I mean, this is some collection. And it's, like I said, it's taken me years. The initial part of this collection came when I decided there was one card I wanted, and I bought a almost complete set. And I hemmed and hawed over the price forever. And it turned to be one of the better purchases that I've ever made. And so almost all of the gold cards you see from Series 1 came from a set I bought. It was missing 4 cards. The 2 cards I know are the Jyn Gold, which I do not have, and the Saw Gold, which I do not have. But here's a Director Krennic card. This is the kind of the secondary Krennic card. There's his character card, and this is more of the, this is called Director Krennic's Obsession, a PSA 10. There's a couple. I think there might be a few of these. He's obviously going to be in Andor. And then we have Taking on the Empire. As I showed earlier, one of my favorite cards. This is a 10. Nice. Who cares? Okay. And Vader. We talked about how Vader does not. This is really his serial number debut for a movie, which is what I collect, movies and TV shows. The kind of other sets don't do it. For me, I like something like if you look back there, all those things back there, they have the name of the, E.T., Superman, Batman. They have the name of the thing on the box. So this is the Darth Vader Gold. I know I have a 9. I think there are 2 10s, and I know who owned both of them. But I don't, Okay. Cheer it. Cheer it gold. So you can see almost all the characters in gold. This is an 8. I don't know. I have that raw one. We're going to grade that. And then one of my friends may get the lower graded of those. Here is, I've showed this one before, Under Imperial Rule, gold, 10. I don't know. I wouldn't grade another one. Here's cool Jyn. After the fight, it got an 8. Don't really care. I don't like. That's kind of the point of why I don't grade these. They get 10s, awesome. They get 8s, I don't care. Here's the Growing Threat, which is a similar card, and that's a 9. Again, I should have all the characters together, but I don't. Here's Baze Malbus. There's, I think, there are 4 total of these graded. I know where all of them are. There's a 10 up on eBay for like $1,000, which I think is a good deal. I just don't chase the grades in these cards. I don't. It's nice to have 10s, but I just want to complete the collection. Here we go. Here is a Ready to Depart. And if you look at the Trust Both goes both ways. This looks like the same scene, but it's really not. I always thought it was, but it's not. Like the Trust Goes Both Ways is like early on. This looks like before they're about to attack Scarif, and that looks like when they're headed to Jeddah. I think we showed this earlier. Cassian Returns, 9. So I have multiple of a lot of these. It's interesting because there's a card that I don't know where it is. There's a card, a big card. Oh, I have no idea where it is. My collection is funny. Like, that's the other part of this. Is like, so the Jyn Gray. I have the Jyn. So whatever, this card here, this is the blue, which is the non-numbered, but I have the gray, which was a gift from a friend of mine. And I have the PSA 9. There is a PSA 10 up for sale on ComC, and it is $1,000, which I think is like a pretty good price. They had it as low as 700. I'm not, again, I don't chase grades, or I would. Here's Bodhi Rook, PSA 10. I do have another one of these I'm going to grade. Most likely to end up giving it away. Speaking of that, here's Mon Mothma's PSA 9. I had an 8. I graded this. I gifted the PSA 8 to my buddy. And then we have Jyn Rebel Hero, the other card, were a PSA 9. So again, that's okay. It's not going to do it, but I'm going to have to find the Jyn. It's not like I lost it. I don't, It's fun for me to go through all these. Especially it was interesting to go through the the stuff that I was gonna grade. I mean, I have, I don't know. Like I'm not even gonna go through it, but like I guess I can move this. So I have like a binder that's just like full of like, oh, there's all gold cards. There's, 2 tubes. Oh, you want Edric 2 tubes. You want whatever. This has got Andor. There's the Mon Mothma gold. There's just a ton of different stuff in there. I could go on for a long time. And, but, we'll end this in a reasonable amount of time. Cassian's my favorite character Listen, everybody comes to Star Wars at different times, and that's what I've learned for the years of collecting, is that usually shapes what you like, what really got you into it. And I'm a Star Wars baby. I'm old enough that I'm about the youngest person you will ever know who saw the movie A New Hope in the theater. So Star Wars to me is what A New Hope was. And that's why I love Andor so much, because it's the closest to it. There is not a lot of Force and lightsabers in A New Hope. There's not. It's mostly about the rebellion and somewhat about the Force. But it's really about, a farm boy who leaves his slaughtered family to go fight in the rebellion. And that's why I like Andor. And if that's why I started collecting this, I think I started collecting this stuff before Andor came out. I definitely bought some because I have a video I recorded where I mispronounced Cassian's name. And, you know, so this is true collecting to me. A lot of the other stuff is, you know, I collect a lot of stuff, and, you know, there's always a meter. 100% collecting, 0% speculation. This is as close I get to that level. I mean, I have I've been building up a big Mandalorian collection, and that's closer to like 60-40 collecting speculation. But this one is, you know, the other way around. So getting to, like, to me, the most valuable Cassian Andor card there is the 1/1 rookie. Not, this is an opinion, okay? There are cards out there that people, you know, the first Superfractor auto, those are sticker autos that came out 8-9 years after this, and they can replicate them all the time. That they don't appeal to me. I don't think they're worth that much money. So the 1/1 from the 1/1 original rookie is the biggest Cassian card. I do not have that. That is my Grail card. It is the only card that I would break the bank for at this point, at all. And part of me hopes it comes up for sale. Part of me hopes it never comes up for sale. But barring that, the best Cassian cards that exist are his gold rookies, which are only 50 of, and his gray rookies, which are out of 100. Now, as far as it comes to the gray, there's only one graded. There's only one known, so that means there's only one known existing copy, and that would be this one right here. That would be the gray out of 100. This also was a gift. So the same person who gifted me that, and my gray Jyn is, you know, a good guy. And I've tried to return the favor best I can. And he also, when I say I think I have around the best or second best, he has the best Rogue One collection I know of. He has an amazing sketch collection. He has all the, pretty much all the autos, where, again, that's not something that I really collect. I focus on, I'm a child of the early junk wax, so I focus on rookie cards. I'm not going to do the spiel I normally do about these next two cards, which is these next two cards are, I'm not going to go into detail, but they are incredibly personal to me. The grade and the number are very important to me. So there are 4 gold Cassian cards known to exist. 4 graded. 110, 2 9s, and an 8. The 10 belongs to my friend Peter, who I just talked about. He has a 10 Cassian and a 10 Jyn. As strong as it comes. So I bought that set years ago, and I got this. A gold Cassian PSA 8. It's number 12 out of 50, and it got an 8. Somebody very special to me. Was born on the 8th of December. And then I had that card for a very long time. And then another one was up for sale, and it got bought. And like I said, I'm not going to do the whole story. A friend of mine bought it. We made a deal. I got it. He knew that it meant a lot to me because I saw the number on it. Somebody else very special to me was born on the 24th of the month. And this is 24 out of 50. And he was born in the month of September. So when I sent this card in to get graded, I didn't want a 10. I wanted a 9. What did I get? A 9. So there are 5 known Cassian Andor, 5 graded Cassian Andor numbered rookies. There are 3 of them right there. What are they worth? I have no idea. I know what I paid for this one, which came in a set, and this one, which I traded some stuff for. And I also know what I would pay for a raw one on the market. But And, you know, I wouldn't even make an offer to my friend on a 10. That is the one time I might consider wanting to own a 10, just because these cards mean so much to me. But as far as I'm concerned, known to exist, this is the best graded Andor collection. I already know. Like I said, my friend has a 10, and he definitely has a gray, but he hasn't graded it. But so he could easily surpass this, and if he just decided to grade all his cards, he would blow me out of the water. And you know, many moons ago, I told him I'm going to do a video where I say the world's second best Rogue One collection. He's like, don't do that. He's like, it's not true, and it doesn't even matter. But it is kind of true. This is, as far as I know, the second best Rogue One collection. The Jyn 1 of 1 is known to exist, and as somebody who has the full rainbow of the Jyn, that person, obviously, if they have anything else like that in anywhere else, would be up there. The 1 of 1 of these cards, nobody knows if it was ever pulled. It's not graded. You know, lots of Google searches and different searches has never found any evidence that somebody pulled the Cassian 1 of 1. So it's out there, or maybe it's not. It could be in the trash. Like, so, the story behind this one here is, you know, this was up on eBay. Guy listed it. I'm not even going to say the price, at a ridiculous price. My friend happened to be surfing at the time, bought it like seconds later. I messaged the guy not knowing who bought it, going, hey, I pulled a bit of a move. I was like, I will pay you 6 times what it sold for. And he's like, man, I wish I could. He's like, I'm going to have to go check that shoebox and see if there are any more in there. And it's like, that's where these cards are. And some of them may just go into the trash because these weren't expensive. These boxes were not expensive. These, you know, nowadays they run anywhere from $250 to $500 a box to open one of these. You get 1 gold card per box. So good luck. I think in all the years I've been collecting, I've seen about, there were 2 cases were up for sale, I think. So that's like 24 boxes. But outside of that, I've probably only seen 40 boxes ever. I think they made about 5,000 boxes. Just not a lot out there, but who knows? I'm hoping, and you know, Andor's going to start in a couple hours. I hope it's really good. You know, I think there's somewhat the fate of Star Wars riding on it. We shall see. So I hope you enjoyed this walk through my Andor. It's not an Andor collection. Like, I have an Andor collection, but you know, I complain a lot about that Fanatics and Topps has abandoned the tradition that goes back almost 40 years of putting out a set based on a movie or a show, and that they haven't done that for Ahsoka, Andor, Skeleton Crew, Acolyte, like Mando Season 3. Like, they just have abandoned it. So I have some Andor cards, but like, it doesn't even matter. Like, I have these here where it's like they're just sitting here. These are, I don't really collect autos, but these were just, this PSA 10 Val Sartha black out of 10. I think I got it for like $80, and I think this 9 out of 10 I got it for like $40. It's just like, I'll just add them to the collection. They don't mean anything. They're cool, but because they don't do a set, that I do collect the finest, 2023 finest is what I feel is the set. But who really knows? So I hope you've enjoyed this walk through my Rogue One collection, and hope you enjoy Andor tonight. I am out.